A friendship ending doesn't mean you're a bad person. Someone walking out of your life doesn't mean you're unworthy. Just because something hurt doesn't mean you deserved it. Just because you're facing a low doesn't mean you're not valuable. Before you know it, you start to confuse a moment in your life with the meaning of your life. Whatever happened to you does not define you. Use it to your advantage to write your own story and define yourself by what you choose to do with it. Hey everyone, welcome back to Just Like Magic with Julia. On today's episode of this Soft Power Sunday series, we are talking about how your difficulties do not define you. Now, I know that sounds straightforward to the point, but I promise you it's so much deeper than it sounds like on the surface. So if you're with me here today, no matter what day of the week it is, stick around because this video is for you. You know we do not play around on these Soft Power Sunday messages, so I got in my comfy little PJs to deliver this message to you because it's all about the soft vibes for this message. But before we even get started today, you know I really need to ask you really quickly to just subscribe to this channel. I really love making these videos for you. It's like my own personal little diary because everything that I do talk about is stuff that I go through too. So I feel like why not share the lessons and the messages with everyone else maybe going through the same thing. So please subscribe because when you do, you will become one of my gems and be a part of this lovely community and hopefully be manifesting your dreams just like magic. Okay, now that my rant is over, let's get into it for real. You want to know how to make a bad thing worse in less than like 5 seconds? Just start blaming yourself for every challenge that you're facing currently right now. The one thing that you can do to make something that's already hurtful and bad and unwanted even worse is to start assigning meaning to why it's happening to you. Basically, start assigning blame to yourself for it. The reason why we even do this in the first place is because when bad things happen or when challenges arise and when things don't go the way that we wanted to or hoped, we want to know why. And when we can't find an actual reason why something didn't go our way, our brain starts working overtime, whether it's a breakup that you're facing, whether it's a loss, whether you just lost a friendship or things aren't going right at your job, whatever it is. If you're wondering why and your brain can't concretely pin a rational outcome or reason for this thing not going the way that you hoped or wanted or thought it would, it's 9 out of 10 times going to blame yourself. We can't understand why, so we try to fill in the blanks on our own. And when we do that, we start to assign meaning to the challenges that we're facing. We start to barter in our own minds. We start to replay the situations in our head a bunch of times and see where we could have done things differently. And in all of those replays and all of those times where we're bartering, we are the common denominator. So our brains start to feel as though we are the common issue. We are the reason why the thing didn't go the way that we had hoped it would. And of course, we start believing that we are the problem. And when you start to believe that you're the problem, so many different things begin to happen because you start to have some crazy thoughts about yourself. So you can begin to become anxious, you can begin to become depressed, you can start isolating, start acting out of urgency, start really losing your own sense of value. And before you know it, there's so much pressure on you to get out of whatever funk that you're in because you started assigning meaning to it. And before you know it, you start to confuse a moment in your life with the meaning of your life. But your identity is not your situation. It's not what you're facing right now. Difficulties are experiences, challenges are an inevitable part of life. It's so crazy because for me to even do this video today, I could not even find a topic because I was in a dark space myself. I was literally a few hours ago, I was frustrated, I was angry, and something within my higher self told myself to just turn on a video that I had made about soft life. And the reason why I wanted to do this was because I remember the place that I was in when I made that video. I was in this very like peaceful state of mind, and I remember making that video for people to watch if they were stressed out, if they were feeling like they were being overcome by the challenges in their life. And that's literally what I was going through. So I turned the video on and I was being hard on myself for like the first 15 minutes, and then boom, I said something in the video where it was like, challenges are inevitable. And it's not that challenges won't come up, it's that you will have to face your challenges with grace and know that you have what's in you to overcome them with balance and duality and self compassion. And that the challenges that you're facing are not a definition of who you are. And then ding, 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 everything started making sense. Boom, right then and there in that moment, I was like, oh, shit. I'm blaming myself for what I went through. I'm defining myself with everything that I've been through in the past couple of months. I'm assigning meaning to it, when in reality, these things don't actually define me. They're just events that happened in my life. Now, really quickly, just time out real quick. I do want to say that obviously this is not for every era of our life. As human beings, we do wrong sometimes, and we need to actually know the difference and discern when we did something wrong and need to be held accountable for it and learn from it, and when something inevitably just does not go the way that we planned, despite being in alignment or doing things out of good intention. I remember, like, for so long, whenever I'd be in like a stress-free era of my life, like, you know, like when for a few months things are just going really well and you start to question like, oh shit, like when is like the shoe gonna drop, like when is something gonna go wrong, even though you shouldn't think like that, those thoughts like inevitably come into your head. And whenever I would get that way, I would start to fear a challenge popping up, when in reality, like, we should be preparing for it because it's always going to happen. We feel like we are not equipped to handle things that are out of our control, when in reality, life itself is out of our control. And is that going to stop us? No. It's inevitable that things will not always go your way or the way that you hoped for. But do those things define us? No, absolutely not. A friendship ending doesn't mean you're a bad person. Someone walking out of your life doesn't mean you're unworthy. Just because something hurt doesn't mean you deserved it. Just because you're facing a low doesn't mean you're not valuable. See, the thing is, we all have things that we want to see for ourselves. We all have things we want to see happen for ourselves. We all want love. We all want happiness. We all want success. We all want inner peace. And sometimes when opportunities, when people come and add to our lives in a way that contributes to those things and then don't work out long term or the way that we hoped, we then associate something deeper to it, something that means that we were the problem or that we were the reason why it didn't work out long term. And that couldn't be further from the truth. One thing I've really learned is that things really do come into our lives to teach us things, to teach us lessons, to be mirrors for ourselves. And not everything will be long term. Sometimes people or opportunities come into our lives for a season, and just because it's not staying doesn't mean that we're not worthy or that we're defined by that. So if you're watching this right now, I want you to pause and I want you to take a nice little deep breath, because I really want you to understand that you're still here. And that means you're still growing. And that means that your story is still unfolding. The highlight, if any highlight of all, the highlight about a difficulty occurring in your life is that they reveal your inner strength. And they do provide you with clarity that maybe you wouldn't have had prior to the situation occurring. Maybe this situation highlighted something within you. Like I said before, some things come into our lives to be mirrors, right? So earlier this year, I was facing a situation that didn't end up the way that I hoped it would or wanted it to. But what I got out of it was so much deeper. I was really able to see that I had some more inner work to do through the situation I was dealing with. And it really highlighted this work that I had to do within myself. I read so many books on attachment and really had to go back to my past and do some digging. And without it not working out, I wouldn't have had done that. And who knows where that work is going to lead me one day. And with that clarity also comes redirection. When I say redirection, I mean redirection from where you think you should have been. But in reality, I really truly believe that this is all a part of the plan, that whatever higher power you believe in has set out for you and me as well. We probably think it's redirection, but really it's just what's been destined for us from the start to teach us something about ourselves to get us to where we need to go. So before you start to criticize yourself and blame yourself and beat up on yourself, ask yourself, what did this situation show you about yourself? Now, let me just say that before I even got to that point, I had to purge out everything that I felt the situation did define about me. Even though it's not true, I had to get it out. I had to realize that it was there. Honestly, I didn't even know I was carrying all of it. Once I got it, like for me, I'm a big journaler. So I don't even know if that's a word, but I journal a lot. And so for me, like I had to write it all down and release it from my head because I just carry everything within me all the time and I don't even realize it's there. And I swear, like, before I knew it, I filled up a whole page with what I thought the situations I had been through defined about me. And when I read it back to myself, it made sense because a part of me knew that those thoughts were there. But when I saw it on paper and when I compared it to the message that we're speaking about right now, I realized, oh, wait, I am letting these things define me. And what I did was I took each negative thought and I realized, okay, this thought is being based on the negative experience that I endured, the thing that didn't go my way, the challenge that I was facing. And instead of just assuming that that negative thought was the truth, I asked myself about the situation again. And I asked myself what I learned and how I grew from it, even if it was hard. I asked myself what it showed me about myself. And every time I asked myself a different question about the growth that I endured from it, the more I saw the positives in the situation and the more I saw that that negative thought that I was putting on myself and blaming myself for wasn't true. So I really do suggest that you purge out whatever it is you think it means, whatever it is you're storing within your minds, within your body, and then actually ask yourself objectively what these things have shown you about yourself. I guarantee that they've shown you strength. I guarantee that they've showed that you're resilient and that you're compassionate in some regard. It's just about realizing it. And I promise you, things change, okay? Things change for everyone, and that's hard and that's scary. And change doesn't always happen in a sugar-coated rainbows and unicorn way, but through the change also can come blessings. Whatever happened to you does not define you. Use it to your advantage to write your own story and define yourself by what you choose to do with it. I promise you, you are not your mistakes if you even made a mistake, okay? You are not what happened to you, but you are who you choose to become next. And your difficulties do not define you. Your healing does. Okay? I hope you all enjoyed this Soft Power Sunday. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you all soon. Bye.